What is up, YouTube? Today we're doing a deck check. Finally, this video is long overdue. So this is Royal Paladin Premium deck. As you can see, here's the deck right in front, and we're just going to go through it and combos and ideas I have with the deck. So, starting off, our starter is actually Barkle, not Wingle Brave. A lot of people are going back and forth what starter to run. For this variant, I'm running Barkle for a few reasons. One, he's able to call, as you can see on the right, Lou and Floatle. Basically, this deck requires a lot of soul, so Barkle helps get to soul, get Barkle Lou, so that's an additional 3 units in the soul. Definitely going to help. So I'm going to start off with grade 3s. The main unit of the deck actually is not Alfred, it's Ezel. And the reason is it can Legion with the new King of Knights Alfred. Now, unfortunately, when you do Legion with it, you don't get the Force Marker. But the cool thing is its skill, which is Soul Blast 2, and ditch a card that is the same name as your Vanguard. So either a copy of Ezel or another Alfred. Call a grade 2 unit, a grade 1 unit, and a grade 0 unit. Shuffle your deck. So instantly you get a field. Comboing, you also can use the new King of Knights Alfred skill, which is Counter Blast 1, call a Blaster Blade. If you do Ezel first, call Barkle to a column, then use this skill called Blaster Blade, countercharging for free basically, and that Blaster Blade gets 5k, as well as the Vanguard will go up from 24 to 34 base, because it does have the base 13 to the 11, which is very, very good. We also tech in one Alfred early tech. It's kind of like a buffer, just so we have an additional Force Marker unit, and we also are able to call a Blaster Blade with additional 10k, and draw that one extra card, which has actually helped me many times. And then finally, the kill card of the deck, this is the card that basically wins me the games, is Alfred Exive. Reason being, one, his first ability in Legion, 1k for every Seeker unit. You have no Seeker units, so forget that, but the second part of it, for if the number of rearguards you have is 5 or more, you get a critical. So yes, you do get a crit with your base 21 Alfred Exive, and because you're in Legion, for every Force Marker, both the Blaster Blade and Alfred Exive will get 10k, so every Force Marker is potentially being doubled. So one Force Marker, 41. 2 is 61. There are games where I have 4 Force Markers, base 101 with this Alfred Exive, which is ridiculous. So if they don't have a perfect guard, they're done. That's the whole thing with the deck. Going into grade 2s, we got, of course, 4 copies of Blaster Blade. I should probably mention numbers. 4, 1, and 1. So 4 copies of Blaster Blade. Don't really use its first skill, but it's nice. And I don't really use its second skill either. I'd rather keep my resources. But if you need something to get rid of, there you go. The main savior of the deck that makes this really, really good is Tarna. And what Tarna does is when you call it, search it if you have a Alfred Vanguard standing. So in Legion it counts Alfred, Alfred, Alfred. Search your deck for Alfred, write it, and it gets 5k. So basically, the idea is Legion with this, call Alfred, set a field. The grade 2 you call is Tarna. Tarna's skill activates, ride into Alfred Exive or Alfred early, get that blast, get the Force Marker, get the Blaster Blade, countercharge, play any extra. You can go into another one, and then on your final Tarna, you go into Alfred Exive, and then for every Force Marker under it, you're doubled. You've also got Starlight Violinist, which is Counter Blast 1, Soul Blast 1. You get a grade 2 card, so basically you use that to get extra Tarna, and I run 2 of those. We've got 4 copies of Blaster Friend Barkle. you're not really counterblasting a lot, but because it's basically you want to explode as fast as possible, you're not going to have a lot of damage. You're going to need to countercharge what little damage you do have. You've then got 4 copies of Lake Maid and Lien. Reason I run her is, 1, if you go first, you get an extra draw. You also get cards in your disc pile for early Legion. As well as, on your second turn, you can use her skill, rest, draw, then ride into Blaster Blade. With Bartle's skill, and when you ride, I believe you ride as stand. I'm going to have to double check this, but I believe you ride as stand. You then have 4 copies of Little Sage Marin. I don't really use her skill all that often, maybe once or twice if I'm lucky a game, but because you're calling a lot, she's basically just going to be an extra draw. She gets up to 11k, and we run 1 copy of a Perfect Guard for our G guards, because we are still running Little Rate Sage Marin, and I'll go into that later. Trigger lineup, we have 1 copy of Future Knight Lou. Basically, turn 1, you want to call him right away with Bartle, so you don't get in damage checked, unless the only real issue is if he gets retired. But if that's really the case, then you have Floatle to go into, because you're running the new Floatle, the 15k shield, much better than the stand. We're running 4 of her. We run 4 copies of Floral Paladin Floatle for that Blaster Blade restanding. I don't use her as often as I did before pre-boot, but she is definitely helpful. We run 3 copies of Flash Shield Exalt. That's really funny. I was thinking of running the old Exalt here just so I could say, oh, I've got 4 in the deck. You know, be funny that way, but I'd rather just have the 7k in case by accident I have to ride her. And we run 4 of the new heal. Again, I'm not running the countercharging because early on, it's a rush deck. You're not really going to get till late game. That 20k shield's much earlier, much better now. Early game than late game. So then you do have the G-Zone. We don't really use the G-Zone though, because the game goes so fast. I'd rather just ride a bunch of times, because you get multiple force markers. You're much stronger than your stride units, minus 1 drive unit, but with a force marker, it's a 10k crit, not really all that necessary. Now there is cancel out because you just have the quadruple drive and countercharge, so potentially very useful. We run 2 copies of Divine Knight Ultimile, 1 stand we get a grade 2. I'm actually curious about something. I have to look this up, but if, say, use Ultimile, because Ultimile then gains the name of Alfred, I then call Tarna and then ride Alfred. What do I believe Ultimile will return to the Soul After, or to the G-Zone, but that is definitely interesting. Right? Because, yeah. I mean, I don't know why you do that, but you can absolutely, and get an extra force marker that way. I guess you could. Ooh, you could do that and then go into Alfred and Legion. See, I'm thinking of combos. Literally, moment here. Bam. All right, we got 4 copies of Alfred Holy Saver, which is of course lets us give our Blaster Blade Twin Drive, so it becomes 13k, which is hitting. We run 2 copies of Squire Dragon just because you can run 4. I just personally run 2. Because Link Joker is a threat, but not as big a threat as it used to be. We've got 2 copies of Great Little Sage Marin, which is Soul Blast 1, call it grade 1. Gets 5k until end of turn. Again, something where it's like, oh, you can't call grade 1s from hand. You call Marin, use its skill, call this unit PG from the deck, because it's a 1 place, not a place from hand. You can then pay the cost of Perfect Guard. Run 1 copy of Mastel, 1 copy of Exalt, and then 1 copy of Ultima. Very, very useful. Now, there are different variants. For a little while, I was running 3 of these Soul Blast, Lien, Perfect Guard Liens, and then I was running 3 stands instead of flash shield I just found, I'd rather have the 10k shield, or the extra shield. So that is the deck, guys. I hope you liked it. Let me know down below what you like, maybe what you don't like, what you would change, what you make better. This has been Clips signing off.